up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past 48 hours. Not too many topics to discuss, but the topics that we are going to discuss are absolutely massive, and that's why I'm making this video. Let's get into it. We have, of course, huge updates on the future of Joao Felix. Before the match last night, the Barcelona board and Atletico Madrid board had a lunch to discuss the future of Joao Felix, where Barcelona have set their parameters. I'll tell you what, these the conditions for Barcelona, pinpoint perfection. We'll talk about that, give you guys all the detail. And similarly with Joao Cancelo, Cancelo told Barcelona he wants to stay no matter what, permanent transfer, another loan. He will do everything in his power to stay at Barcelona beyond the season. That's all he wants. And Jorge Mendes has been tasked by Deco to go talk with Man City very soon and discuss initial parameters as well. The club are willing to spend some money on Cancelo as well. They said the price on it, the price they set on it, perfect, absolutely perfect. The board have been absolutely sensational with these two Joao operations, but they don't want to keep Cancelo by any means necessary, whether it's going to be a loan or a transfer. And again, Jorge Mendes will be sent to Man City to start negotiations with them. In regards to exits, Saudi Arabia have put a huge offer on the table for Barcelona for Raphinha. Now the club will have to decide whether or not to accept this transfer or to keep Raphinha. It's a very big offer. We'll talk about the conditions of the deal, the fee, and whether or not Barcelona should sell him or not. Finally, we do have an update on the future of Mason Greenwood, which of course, thank God, will be far away from Barcelona due to Manchester United's outrageous asking price for the English forward. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get the 200 likes this video. Be very much appreciated. Also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Now, before we get into this video is sponsored by Number 1 Foot. Number 1 Foot is one of the best replica football jersey websites on the market right now. They have a variety of different items at absolutely fantastic prices. For me here today, I'm going to show you guys the training kit from this season. This is the warm-up kit that the players use when they go out for training every single day, pre-games as well. You have here the Spotify logo. They have the club badge on it with the diamond as well. And I also have here one of the sweaters they have from last season. This was the Catalonia version. It feels like I bought this from the Nike store directly. The quality is absolutely unreal. The printing is fantastic. And of course, mainly the prices are unbeatable. And if you use the discount code BOY at checkout, you do get an additional 15% off your final order. That is BOY. Use it at checkout. You get 15% off your order, and all orders above $80 as well will guarantee you free shipping. So what are you waiting for? Click the top link in the description down below and get your new football kits today. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past 48 hours. The first player that we have been linked with is Mason Greenwood, but I think we can all agree in a positive way. Mateo Morito has come out saying that Barcelona are not interested in Mason Greenwood. They are not in the race to sign him. Thank God. I'm not talking about the player here. I'm talking about the profile. Does not fit Barcelona by any means whatsoever. I'm staggered by the fact that we're even linked with him. Now, Marca came out saying that Manchester United have slapped a 50 million euro asking price on Mason Greenwood. So not only do we not need him, not only does the profile not fit, the price is absolutely outrageous for a player that has 1 year left on his deal. He's just come back for playing his first season for the first time in 3 years. I don't think he was playing since like pre-COVID or during COVID. I think he was the last time he was playing, like early COVID times. 50 million. Do you know what Barcelona can do with 50 million? Don't even get me started. Now, this was also confirmed by Gabriel Sanz of Mundo Deportivo, saying that Manchester United have informed Barcelona that they should pay around 40 to 60 million euros for Mason Greenwood. For Barcelona, the winger is not a priority, and certainly not for this fee as well. Thank God. I will say this though. If Mason Greenwood is a free agent next summer, 2025, keep your eyes on him, because he could end up just running down his deal, not leaving Manchester United, and stay as a free agent, maybe go on loan somewhere else, whatever the case may be. That price is astonishingly ridiculous. The player is good. I think if we needed like a right-sided forward, or we needed a striker, there could be a conversation to be had here. But for Barcelona, when you have already Lewandowski, Marguillo, Victor Roque down the middle, you have Lamine Yamal, you have Raphinha, you have Ferran Torres down the right-hand side, get him in the bin. So for now, Barcelona not interested in Mason Greenwood, as his asking price is absolutely outrageous. But of course, the English forward does not fit into Barcelona's plans anyways. Now, another player who has been linked with Barcelona, but the club is not going to sign him, is Mario Hermoso. A bit different from Mason Greenwood's side, because the club actually like Mario Hermoso. They were just more interested in Greenwood, but they actually do like the profile of Hermoso. But Tutto Sport have come out saying that Juventus are close to winning the battle for Atletico Madrid defender Mario Hermoso, whose contract expires at the end of the season. Again, he will be a free agent this summer. Barcelona liked him, but acknowledged that there is an overbooking in the back line. So again, a player that we were interested in, free agent, kind of fit the mold, you could say. But again, the overbooking, we have about 8 center backs, we have about 5 fullbacks at this point. We can actually have to narrow it down to who we want to keep, who we want to sell. That is where the big question comes in our back line, not adding people from outside. So Mario Hermoso, player that the club liked, but again, will not be pursuing his signing as a free agent this summer. Now, the player who is the talk of the town recently after scoring against his parent club in La Liga for the second time in both games this season, it is of course Joao Felix. Following his great performance last night, we do have some updates on his potential signing this summer. And for me, this is why I love this new board. They're doing everything pinpoint perfection. Just listen. Roger Tedero, top source from Mundo Deportivo, has come out saying that hours before kickoff, board members of Barcelona and Atletico Madrid met for lunch, and one of the topics discussed was the future of Joao Felix. This is probably, the lunchtime, the day of yesterday, Sunday, the game. Felix wants to stay at Barcelona, and the club want to keep him. Very, very important. The intention from the club is to request another loan with a purchase option of 20 million euros, the same amount Atletico Madrid paid for Griezmann. I feel like standing up and just applauding. Did Atletico Madrid finesse us for Griezmann? A little bit. He was on 700,000 a week. We just wanted to get rid of him no matter what. The fact they paid, I think, 30 million for him total, I think 10 million loan fee, then 20 million buy option, is outrageous. And Barcelona's intention is to do the same for Joao Felix. I cannot applaud this anymore. Also, the report goes on to say that if Atletico Madrid demand the mandatory purchase option, Barcelona will say they'll accept it if it's a low amount. So Barcelona's game plan is very simple. They want a loan. They don't even want to buy Felix for 20 million euros this summer. They want a loan with a buy option. That is the, parameters that they have set. Could not agree more. Look, I said at the beginning of the season, for Joao Felix to stay this summer, he has to get, at least in my opinion, double digits in both goals and assists. I think he has 9 goals, 5 assists, so I expect him to score 1 goal from now to the end of the season. So he probably get the goals. Assists, you never know, could come close to it. I think Felix is a very unique player, different profile. I personally, if you ask me yes or no to keep him, I would say no. However, if we're getting him for this cheap on a good deal, a player that wants to stay, the club want him as well. Again, he's still very, very young as well. That's also something to keep in mind. I don't see why not. This for me would just encapsulate the excellent work the board have done since coming in 2021. This is the only conditions I would do this deal over. Buy option 20 million for me is very, very low. I would maybe go to 30, maybe 35 at the absolute most. I would not touch 40 by any means necessary. But if the club want to keep him, that's their parameters, that's their opinion. No more than 35 million euros. The fact they started off at 20 for me is just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Now, after this lunch that they had, the meeting with Barcelona and Atletico Madrid before the game yesterday, the president of Atletico Madrid was asked in the media about this lunch and about the future of Joao Felix. He came out saying this: "He is our player who is playing on loan at Barcelona, and you all know his situation. I just hope that if he plays, he does not have his night tonight," which he did. Hold that. To the fans, I would say to treat him as they treat all the other players who come here, with respect and education. I don't know if he'll play or not. We will see what happens if he's on the field. He scored. But he should be treated as it befit a player of Atletico who is playing in Barcelona and who is respected like all the players in the stadium. For us, it is not a problem. It is what it is. At the end of the season, we will decide what happens. So again, nothing's going to be decided from their perspective right now. Right now, the ball is in Atletico Madrid court. The Barcelona have made their demands. It's going to be another loan. We can throw in a buy option this time for sure. The buy option is going to be low. We blessed you with Antoine Griezmann. It's now your turn to bless us with Joao Felix, so to speak. That's kind of, the way the negotiations have been going. And again, I cannot agree more with the club. So that is the parameters set right now for Joao Felix. Again, if these parameters are not met, I don't think the club will pursue the signing of Joao Felix. Atletico Madrid are a bit worried from their side as well, according to report, because no one else wants Joao Felix apart from Saudi Arabia. But Joao Felix does not want to go to Saudi Arabia. He only wants to stay in Barcelona. No other, top club wants him. And keep in mind, he did renew his contract last summer before joining Barcelona on loan with Atletico Madrid until 2029. So he's locked in for quite some time there. So basically, it's going to be Barcelona or bust. Jorge Mendes is going to have a huge job on his hand to, of course, make Barcelona happy and his player happy as well. So wait and see how things turn out. But again, the conditions for Joao Felix staying at Barcelona next season have been set, and now it's up to Atletico Madrid to make that decision. Now, Joao Felix is not the only Joao that Barcelona have on loan and do want to keep as well. We do have an update on the future of Joao Cancelo. This came out the morning of the game before his situation came about. We'll talk about that in the injury report update section. But Fernando Polo from Deportivo came out saying that at the moment, Joao Cancelo is for sure on one thing. He does not want to leave Barcelona in the summer, despite being on loan, a contract having with the Man City until 2027 as well. Therefore, he has his agent Jorge Mendes to ensure that he stays in Barcelona squad at all costs, though another loan or permanent transfer, whatever it needs to take for him to stay at Barcelona next season. The club believes Man City should agree to a transfer fee at a cut price not exceeding 20 million euros due to the player's age and only wanting to play for Barcelona. Alternatively, Barcelona could just extend his loan as well. Mendes will present this to Man City as he plans to make the trip to Manchester soon. I feel like standing up and just, the club, this board, just get everything spot on. Again, with Cancelo, they said the price no more than 20 million. Imagine we sign Cancelo and Joao Felix for 40 million euros combined. How can Man United want 50 million for Greenwood? We can get both Joaos on a permanent for the same price. Actually, lower, cheaper than him. Look, with Cancelo, we said it back in October, sign him permanently. The decision has already been made from that standpoint. Whatever we have to do to sign him, whether it's going to be a loan, a permanent, whatever the case may be, it's going to come down, of course, again, the ball's in the court of Manchester City. Pep does not want him back whatsoever. Man City don't want him back either. Joao Cancelo only wants to stay at Barcelona. The man's kissing the badge every time he touches the ball and does a tackle and scores a goal. I don't think he wants to really go anywhere else at this point. I think he's made that very quite clear. So wait and see what happens with Cancelo as now. But again, Barcelona, this is the most important thing as well. They're making their decisions. They're making their stance clear on the two Joaos because they want that done before June the 30th. When July the 1st hits, you can focus on transfers, bringing in players, exiting players. With these two players being on loan, you can decide their futures at any point. We can buy them both tomorrow if you wanted to. But again, the club now getting the ball rolling. Mid-March. Perfect timing as well. Let's hope the club's plan is going to be executed. But for now, Cancelo's parameters again have been set. Barcelona having to pay permanently or another loan, but they don't want to exceed more than 20 million euros. Let's now discuss the players that have been rumored to leave Barcelona over the past 48 hours. The biggest exit noise has been around Raphinha, who has been playing very well over the past 3 games against Atletico Madrid, against Napoli, even against Mallorca for the 40 minutes he played before he was injured. Had solid performances. Now, Joaquin Pereira from Sport, #1 source in regards to Brazilian players and Barcelona, he came out saying that Barcelona have received a dazzling offer for Raphinha this week. It came out last week. It comes from Saudi Arabia and would exceed 80 million euros. This is big. I will say this though, Barcelona will not have a problem of getting rid of Raphinha this summer. The question is, do Barcelona want to get rid of him? That is the decision that has to be made. Of course, I think from Raphinha's side, it's very clear he wants to stay at Barcelona. This is his dream club. He wants to succeed here. The day he got the number 11 shirt, his wife said apparently he was walking around like for days with this kid on with the number 11. I see clips of him playing with his dogs and stuff all the time. He has like Barcelona balls and shirts and merchandise all over the place. I don't know if that's propaganda or whatever, but he's selling his case, to be fair to him. So I don't think the player himself wants to leave. I think if he's told to leave, I'm sure he will not have any problem in doing so. But again, the question is, do Barcelona want to sell him? It's a decision that we're going to have to make. I think price-wise, it's a great offer. I think for Raphinha, I'd probably be looking into this area, 80, 90 million euros. Of course, we paid 65 to make a bit of profit as well. And I think, again, I don't think he's done enough to reach the 100 million euro barrier, so to speak. Good player. I think overall this season he's played well. Just again, that effectiveness in the final third kind of has his numbers lacking a little bit in terms of GA, goals, and assists. But I think he's played well throughout the course of the season. And the issue that I have is that if you sell Raphinha you're gonna have to go get another winger, and we already need a left-sided forward. It's complications. Of course, you have Ansu Fati coming back from loan as well. That's gonna throw a huge spanner in the work. But again, the most important thing about this offer being made is that the club have a decision to make. Will they sell Raphinha? Will they sell Frankie de Jong if they have to? Will they sell Inigo Martinez? Will they sell Koundé? They have players that they can sell if needs be. Again, Deco's made it very clear in multiple interviews they don't want to sell their good players. Of course, they want to keep their current squad and add stuff onto it. So they kind of have the core of the cake. They want to get now the icing and the cherry on it. We'll wait and see. Again, the big part about this is now the club have a decision to make. They can easily say like, oh, we want to get rid of Raphinha. There's definitely suitors out there, Premier League clubs, Saudi Arabia. It's just now down to making that decision. Now, one player who Barcelona pray and hope they can get rid of in the summer is, of course, Sergino Dest, who is currently on loan at PSV Eindhoven. They do have a €10 million buy option, and their sporting director was speaking to ESPN on the future of Dest, and he came out saying, yes, I would say it's fair. It's more than fair. He's doing fantastic things for PSV Eindhoven, and yes, I can say that I hope he stays at PSV Eindhoven. Very, very interesting. I will say this. I'm pretty sure that Dest is going to go to PSV. Will I say that 100%? No. I would probably put that right now at 95%. What I don't put at 95% is the price. I personally feel like PSV Eindhoven are going to try and get Dest for cheaper than €10 million. I would say this, though, the club should really hit home on this 10 million. Maybe we can squeeze some variables, 7 plus 3, 8 plus 2. 10 million is a fair price, not only for the player's profile, the age, the versatility of the player, but how he's doing at PSV this season. He's been one of their better players, playing at both left back and right back, mainly left back for the natural right back, so to speak, getting assists, getting goals, playing well, performing well, especially in the Champions League and European competitions. I think in the Eredivisie, PSV are top of the league. He's doing well for them, and again, I think 10 million for a club like that, for a player like this, is not something outrageous. I honestly think it's a fair price, even with the season that he's having right now. It's just now down to the fee, because the reports are PSV think they can get him for cheap because Barcelona are broke, all this stuff. But like with the Joaos, we gotta remain firm on this 10 million, no matter what. I would consider 8 plus some variables, 7 plus some variables, but 10 billion total. If we can squeeze more, then bloody hell, by all means. But since they have that 10 million euro buy option, that's gonna be very unlikely. The most we'll get for him is 10 million. I doubt he'll go back and they'll end up giving us more for him. Doesn't make sense, but we'll wait and see how things turn out. But I'm pretty confident that Dest will leave the club this summer on a permanent transfer to PSG. It's just now down to what price. Now, we do have some updates in regards to players staying at Barcelona, and the main one being, of course, Ronald Araujo, after a lot of talks in the media over the past few months on his contract situation, and also big interest from Bayern Munich as well. During promotion for the Atletico Madrid game, and also some talk after the Napoli game as well, we have some quotes on Araujo's future. He was asked about his future, I think, with TV3. He said, look, the truth is that everyone knows that I'm very happy at Barcelona. I've always tried to show it when I wear the jersey. I'm very happy, and I will always do my best here, and I cannot imagine myself outside of Barcelona. So again, the player in the media constantly making it clear he wants to stay. Once Barcelona offer him the renewal, that's gonna be the great question. I think we offered, of course, Frankie de Jong a renewal. I believe, according to reports, of course, Frankie de Jong did deny it in that press conference before the Napoli game first leg. There's no reports right now on Araujo being offered a renewal. All we know that for sure is that Barcelona want him to stay. He wants to stay, and they have contacted his agents about that. That's all we have right now. So we'll wait and see when the club offer him a renewal, if he'll accept it or not. I think it's going to come down to a lot of things: the sporting project, the wages as well of Araujo. Will he want to increase? Will he keep the same wages? It's not going to be a simple renewal. I will tell you that right now, because Araujo right now is about to enter the prime of his career, and he wants somewhere where he can win trophies. I think if we win either La Liga or Champions League, it'll make his renewal, of course, much easier. But if we go trophyless, which I still think is a unfortunately big possibility, that of course throw some spanners in the work. So we'll wait and see how things turn out. But again, Araujo in the media making it so clear he wants to stay at Barcelona, but we'll see if that's a reality once the renewal offer is on the table. Let's now discuss some of the news surrounding Barcelona over the past 48 hours. The first topic that's very big around the Spanish media has been about Barcelona not being too happy with the Spanish Federation in regards to their players and the summer tournaments coming up. Of course, this summer you're going to have the Euros and the Summer Olympics as well, and Barcelona are worried that their Spanish players will be used very heavily this summer. Now, Fernando Martinez from Deportivo has come out saying that there is a strong chance that Paul Cubarsi will play in the Euros this summer, and even after that, the Spanish Federation wants him to compete in the Olympics, something that Barcelona wants to prevent. If Cubarsi wants to participate in 2 tournaments, he will hardly have any vacation, as Barcelona see to start right afterwards. The club does not want this to happen after the last proceeding with Pedri in 2021. Now, Xavi did talk about this, I believe, in the pre-match to the Atletico Madrid games, that look, you have to be very careful with these players. You don't want them overplaying too much. I would say with Cubarsi, you have to watch out for this international break. If he is starting for Spain, I mean, shout out to him, but madre mia. I don't expect Cubarsi to be starting for Spain in the Euros. So if he goes to the Euros and he's just on the bench and he's not playing, then he goes, you know, of course, probably starts in the Olympics. I personally wouldn't be too upset with that. If he's the starter in the Euros, he's coming right back to Catalonia. I don't give a damn about no Summer Olympics, and that's what the club is really worried about. And it's not only for Cubarsi as well, it's the same thing for Lamine Yamal. Franco Corazon Sport came out saying that Barcelona wants to prevent a repeat of Pedri's situation in 2021 by stopping Cubarsi and Lamine Yamal from joining the Paris Olympics. While Spanish reports law does not allow refusal, the club will discuss it with the Spanish Federation. So the club there's no law that can say that Barcelona can have a say in this and say you cannot go. It's going to come down really to the players themselves. They can definitely pull out themselves. It's a very, very weird conundrum. Of course, we know that probably most likely Lamine Yamal will be a starter for Spain this summer, but I wouldn't say he's going to be starting week in, week out, as we see with Barcelona. I think Cubarsi could definitely be a strong squad player come off the bench if there are injuries. That's a problem with Spain right now. They don't have too many center backs. If 1 or 2 gets injured, then Cubarsi is next in line, and that's the worrying thing from Barcelona. And this is going to be a very, very, very delicate and difficult situation, because the Spanish Federation can just say, you know what, Barcelona, up yours. We want to win these tournaments, put Spain back on the map. They're coming. They're getting called up. If they want to pull out, they'll be. And this is the problem, right? If we do not make an agreement with Spain to not call them up, and if they get called up and Barcelona convince Lamine Yamal and Cubarsi to pull out, the ridicule they will get from the media is astounding. Oh, you're turning back on your country just because you like the club better, blah, blah, blah. That's the problem, and that's, I think, what the club really want to prevent, alongside them playing a lot of minutes as well. So wait and see how things turn out. This is probably more so of a situation that come once we hit middle of May, when those Spanish squad lists are pretty much, you know, confirmed to the point of who will be selected, who won't be selected. But Barcelona have to do their absolute best and try their best to prevent Pau Cubarsi and Lamine Yamal from suffering to what Pedri suffered back in 2021. Now, the final topic that I want to discuss before I end off this video is to give you guys some injury updates around the first team at Barcelona. Firstly, not really an injury update, but the situation of Joao Cancelo. So the media was told that he was not put in the squad list for the Atletico Madrid game because he had some physical problems. And what those physical problems will be: a knock, a little bit of discomfort, whatever the case may be. The club did not want to take any risks with him, and they didn't end up putting him in the squad list. Immediately after that game, Javi Miguel came out saying that Joao Cancelo has a very serious personal problem, and that's why he didn't travel to Madrid. Now, credit where it's due. Shout out Javi Miguel for keeping that in and not, you know, publishing that until after the game. I think if we published that before the game, bloody hell, the media would have had an absolute field day. And this was confirmed by, you know, Xavi and Fermin Lopez. Fermin Lopez came out after the game saying that the truth is that I'm very happy. We dedicate this victory to Cancelo, who's having a hard time, and this victory is for him. Xavi said that also in his post-match press conference as well. What's the situation? No one knows. I think it's best that we don't know as well. If it gets leaked, it will be a little bit annoying. Maybe Cancelo himself will come out and explain it. Maybe someone's passed away. Someone's going through a tough moment. It could be absolutely anything. But it's none of our business, of course. If it's personal, it's personal. It should stay that way, in my opinion. But hopefully everything's okay with him. I think he's probably going to go with Portugal during the international break. Just a little cheeky week rest as well. So hopefully there's nothing serious there in regards to his body. But hopefully everything in terms of mentally and what's happening in his personal life does go fine. Now, we do have some other injury updates, of course. Next up is on Ferran Torres, who, of course, was not in the squad list for the game against Atletico Madrid, but for a good reason. Alex Bentel from Relevo came out saying that Ferran Torres was not included in the squad list due to a precautionary measure. The Spaniard completed only one training session with the team, which does mean that after international break against Las Palmas, Ferran Torres will be 100% fully fit and ready to go. Of course, he was not called out for the Spanish national team as well. He's basically fit, but the club did not want to rush him back for this game specifically. So by Las Palmas game on March 30th, he will be fully fit and ready to go, which is a good thing. Now he has 2 weeks to really get to match fitness, match sharpness, match rhythmness, all that sort of stuff. So that's going to be very, very good to have, you know, a sharp Ferran Torres off the bench and maybe even starting games once we hit that beginning of April period, where we do have a lot of games coming up. Now, finally, back to the, you know, Atletico Madrid game. Of course, Christensen did get a knock during the warm-up. Xavi did say that Christensen had some pain in his Achilles during the warm-up, and we did not want to take any chances. He said that sometimes players suffer through this. It's like a 50-50. Some games they can, go through it and go through the pain. Some days they just can't, and this was just a day where Christensen couldn't go through it. I don't know if he'll continue with the Danish national team during the international break. We'll wait and see on that. But he's not injured per se, just a little bit of discomfort during the warm-up, and they didn't want to, of course, aggravate it. This was like a Champions League semi-final, Champions League final, title-deciding game. He maybe would have played it and could have potentially gotten injured. That would have been the big problem, but the club didn't want to take any risk. Well, not the club, but Xavi specifically did not want to take any risk whatsoever. Xavi was even saying that he wanted to play Gundogan way more advanced in the midfield, have him be creative, but since, Christian got injured, he had to, of course, bring Gundogan back and then put Fermin Lopez in that advanced midfield position. But overall, I guess it all worked out in the game. We still absolutely clapped Atletico Madrid's cheeks. But again, no official injury in regards to Christensen, just some discomfort, and hopefully nothing too serious, and we'll wait and see how he does during the international break. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past 48 hours. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course, leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing, firstly, of course, is your thoughts on the Joao Felix and the Joao Cancelo operations. What are your thoughts on the club's perspective on the two deals? Do you agree with the club, disagree, and how much would you pay collectively for both players this summer? Second, your thoughts on Mason Greenwood. Would you actually sign him for Barcelona or not? And finally, your thoughts on the bid from Saudi Arabia for Raphinha. What would you do personally? Sell Raphinha, use that fee and that money to invest in the squad and elsewhere, maybe bring back another right winger, or would you give Raphinha one more season, maybe injury free, see how he does on a consistent basis? Maybe he'll tone up his stuff in the final third and become a absolute elite winger. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time on the channel. Take care and Forza Barca.